Oh, right, folks. We're going to have that conversation on the old Modern Horizons. I thought it'd be perfect background to have the Modern Horizons 1 as a nice symbolic journey, pain for our wallets, entrance into Modern Horizons 2. So, for catch everyone up to speed, if you're living under a rock, when this thing came out, this was probably one of my favorite box openings and products to actually open and enjoy in a long time. I really liked Modern Horizons 1. That was the time when everybody complained that why is the summer set in a rectangle box with the same number of packs as Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2, and Battle Bond? Why did the price have to double from that normal $80, $90 a box all the way to the $180, $200 a box? So, here we are in 2021. We're going to have a lot to go over today, a lot to unpack. On the verge of this Modern Horizons 2 in the next few weeks. I actually have been looking at the spoilers because I'm very curious how far they're going to really push this bad boy. Because this is going to be kind of their big revenue gravy train for the to really push through for, I guess, what, Q2, I guess? Earnings, January, March, April, May, June. Yeah, I guess technically a June release would be till Q2 earnings. By the time distributors pay them would be probably now, and then by the time stores pay distributors. Yeah, so this would be a Q2 earnings for Wizards of the Coast. And as of the filming of this video, we have the Modern Horizons set boxes, collector boxes, and draft. Modern Horizons draft boxes are extremely tightly printed, absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking, it feels tighter printed than the Modern Horizons 1 release, which I thought was very generous. But they have Modern Horizons 2 draft and set. So if you combine them both together, it feels about the same. So it appears to me it looks like a 1/3 Modern Horizons 2 draft boxes and 2/3 Modern Horizons 2 set boxes. As of the filming of this video, market price is bouncing around between $250 and $300 per draft box or set box, bouncing around by the day, plus tax depending where you live in the United States and around the world. So on average, if you essentially what, 260, 270 with taxes and shipping out the door for most people in the United States, all the way up to 320 out the door, depending on when you check the pricing and if you have 10 or 11% sales tax or whatever. Collector booster boxes are bouncing around. Every once in a while, Amazon will do another restock wave for about that 350, 360 plus tax, so about 380 out the door. And then it bounces back to that $400 to $500. On average, I'm seeing a lot of sold listings on eBay and TCG Player for around those 400s, which is exactly what I had anticipated by the time we hit release and the market realizes the value and the secondary market expected value and just the sheer hype and demand of this product. I expect collector boxes to be pushing towards $500. Yeah, and here's the thing that's frustrating. I'm starting to get some allocations of information. I've been calling some other stores, seeing what they're getting, and the allocations are really nasty. That always, like I hang up the phone after getting information on stuff like that, and after making a bunch of phone calls for a couple hours, and I'm just like, I get the hype and really the demand to make it really sought after and everything, but it's frustrating. It really is, because you have somebody who sells sealed products, especially to mostly to the patrons at release. I would rather sell 2,000 collector boxes for $249 a box for Modern Horizons 2 versus selling 500 collector boxes for $500 a box. You guys see what I'm saying? There's no difference from an actual seller standpoint or a store owner or a distributor standpoint, because the numbers come out the same. And I still to this day feel like, that was one of the reasons I actually thought Modern Horizons 1 was just so successful and well done, because, the box price hovered around that $200 box price for the longest time. And then when Wizards had additional supply at the end, there was a couple month window where Modern Horizons 1 tanked to it bottomed in the 160s, 170s, maybe plus tax depending where you're located. But, and it was readily available for a long time. And this is already to the point where everyone's generally accepting that the Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes is going to be the ultimate bottleneck pinch point of pricing and surprise on this product. it's going to be really messy and nasty because I'm hearing allocation numbers that are so brutal. One distributor is starting to hand out numbers. And, you know, I just put in blanket order of just give me as much as I can possibly get type thing. And then when I was getting like, you know, 8%, 10%, 12%, I call other stores. They're like, well, no, I call another store in Orlando, Florida, Georgia, Atlanta, you know, Alabama, Texas. You know, I start calling around the southeast part of the United States, and I'm like, hey, what'd you guys get? What'd you get? And, you know, one store's like, well, we requested 240 collector boxes. We got 24. Another store goes, well, we requested 120 collector boxes. We got 17. And I'm like, and I guess it wouldn't be as big of a deal if I was confident that we were going to have the situation of like Zendikar Rising collector boxes, where I could tell you we're going to get more of them. You know, this next part, this is straight speculation. I got no evidence one way or the other. But in my personal opinion, there's going to be zero restock of Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes. Zero. And it's going to be a straight up middle finger of Amazon at $400 to $450. They'll adjust it as they see market pricing, and it's going to be direct Wizard fulfillment for Amazon, and Wizards is going to sell the second wave of Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes to the public for between $400 and $500 a box after release. Similar to Time Spiral Remastered, which stores paid, what did we pay? $150 for a box? I sold mine for like $180. If you're a patron in the comment section, what did I sell Time Spiral for? Was it $189? Or was it $199? I think it was $189. You know, and then after that, Wizards takes all the it's estimated to be between 50 and 100 pallets. Has to be. If an average Time Spiral Remastered pallets, you know, 500 boxes, and they've restocked it every week, or once a week, or every other week, and it's in stock, and I think a few days ago, I think it was in stock for like 3 days. And it's estimated that, you know, it was another 5-10 pallets. So, and you know, Wizards is selling direct through Amazon fulfillment, and Wizards is getting the direct revenue. So if Wizards sells at $250 through Amazon, even if Amazon gives them some large corporate discount on fees, or even if they pay the full retail fees, which you know they don't, you know, Wizards is going to net what? $230, $220 a box versus what? $150, which is what a store paid on Time Spiral, which means the distributor paid $130, which means what? Wizards only got what? Maybe $110, $120. So Wizards is increased their margin not by 5, 10, 20%, but by 100 to 150%. And I understand why they're doing it. I mean, I get it, but it's just this huge middle finger to the 3,000 stores around the country and world that are the backbone, that are doing the work and moving this product. And of course, everyone in the comment section is going to go, well, my store is bad, my owner's mean, or it's a bunch of smelly people, or they're mean to, I don't know, big people or women or minorities in my store. My store owner gouges everybody. Okay, if you have a bad store, then, you know, don't go to that store. Everything in the world, there's going to be bad people in bad stores. Just don't give them your money. But anyways, and I know that's what people say in every one of my videos every time I talk about this topic. So good, I'm glad Amazon's getting it. Okay, well, I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you, but I understand. Okay, so anyways, you know, so based on that whole situation, I firmly believe the Modern Horizons 2 collector box situation is going to be an absolute they're going to be so expensive. They're going to be like, you know, if you have the money, I'll be honest with you, locking in at Amazon at $350 a box is probably going to be the best you're going to get. You know, I'm not sponsored by Amazon, and obviously I'm not a fan of Amazon. I get it. They're taking over the world. But based on what's probably going to happen, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. It's Wizards of the Coast attitude towards all of us in 2021. So, that's really it. Now I want to jump over to the spoilers and kind of what's going on so far. Obviously, there's a ridiculous amount of variance for Modern Horizons 2. Old frame, new frame, etched frame, foil, rainbow foil, etched cold foil, non-foil, old card frame, new card frame of each variant of foil. It's insane. It's just insanity. Obviously, they're going to bottleneck certain variants to the collector box, or certain variants to the set box. And I've already been hearing, I guess the set boxes have the list, and the list is Modern Horizons 1 cards. I'm still very confused in the situation. I'll just wait to do box openings. I am genuinely excited. This is my excited face to actually do box openings on Modern Horizons 2. Because remember, my all-time favorite box openings for Magic the Gathering are Ultimate Masters and Modern Horizons 1. Those two particular box openings are by far, I enjoyed those more than anything. It was by far my favorite experience. We opened so many Modern Horizons box openings. It was ridiculous, everybody. So, as far as the spoilers go, we know the fetch lands. We know, obviously, now the mythics and rares are starting to drop with all kinds of wild cards. I have a separate video. We'll talk about the whole mythic about creating tokens and reserve list cards of Black Lotus, and everyone's up in arms about that. We'll have a separate conversation, and we'll discuss reserve lists and that, because that's a whole 20-minute conversation by itself. But overall, in this video, I wanted to just let people know this is what supply is looking like. So understand that the draft boxes and set boxes are print to demand, which doesn't mean anything because Jumpstart is print to demand. Commander Legends Draft is print to demand. I'm trying to do bunny ears. I'm trying to be cool like you all. Print to demand doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, Pokemon's supposed to be print to demand. Commander Legends Draft, Jumpstart Draft, all these things were supposed to be print to demand. Jumpstart's over, a year old? How old's Commander Legends now? I mean, they're not going to keep randomly reprinting these things as the years go by. These things are on timers. These things are eventually just going to go away as printing capacity and what's the new flavor of the month moves forward. You really think by the time we hit the end of 2021 going to 2022 and you've got the nether Shadows over Innistrad or Werewolves, Vampire, Shadows, Eldritch Moon, and we're past D&D sets with Parchment Scrolls, and there's that surprise winter set and some other, all these, you really think after all these things are coming out, they're going to be going back 2 years ago and doing Jumpstart still? You think they're going to go back and keep doing Commander Legends? I mean, I'm telling you all right now, that's the biggest problem with Modern Horizons 2 with the draft and the set boxes. It's not that people don't want them like crazy, and it's, the prices will come down, which they may. They may crash a lot. They may crash a little. The price coming up or down is not dependent on the market anymore. It's dependent on whether or not we're actually going to get print to demand. Can a distributor place a PO order or a purchase order? Can a distributor place a PO with WotC saying, hey, I want 3,000 boxes of Modern Horizons 2 beep, boop, 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 draft boxes for my 5 warehouse locations to distribute to my 800 stores? Can they place that PO? Is there an open order form for that? In my opinion, I think the answer is going to be no. And my rationale is that we're looking at the data of Jumpstart and Commander Legends. Commander Legends is probably the most underappreciated fire set there is right now. And it's probably going to have the most extraordinarily largest growth rate going out of print. Because it is it's a regular $80, $90 booster box. I guess the market's what, 100? What do stores pay? 85 bucks? And I sold all mine for 99? I mean, I haven't had it in stock in months. And, okay, so a $100 box. Look how low that price point is, and look how much room for growth there is for a product with that low of a price point. A $100 Commander Legends box? Are you kidding me? With the reprints and the lineup of that? Those Commander Legends draft boxes could easily get, if the market gets an official Wizards of the Coast, no more, final call, last call, this is your last wave, out of print Commander Legends, those draft boxes are $200 or $300. Those collector boxes are $1,000. Jumpstart, $500. It's good, and I know your brain's going, what? What did he say? Is he pumping and dumping? No, only your stepmom. But the thing is, until that happens, it doesn't matter. Because they could keep doing it they could keep restocking and doing waves the next 10 years, right, everybody? So that's where we're at. Fun times for Magic the Gathering in 2021. Continued divisive attitudes of everybody. Angers and frustrations between customers, stores, distributors, Wizards, Amazon, Secret Lairs. A lot of just continuing to just be very divisive, very abrasive, very just everybody's pulled apart and segregated and upset with each other. It still remains a very, I'm stopping short of using the word toxic, but it remains very divisive. It remains a very pokey, pointy, spiky situation, and which is crazy, on the backs of the Pokemon and sports cards being pulled from big box stores and all that stuff. They have problems, but it's different, and this Magic thing is just such a weird, it's such a good game, and the cards are so beautiful, but it's just such a bumpy road. And you never know when you ride down that road when it's literally you're just going to hit some massive bump or pothole and just fly off the side of the road. And that's the risk of this stuff. So that's it for today's video. Like I said, biggest point of the conversation is just going to be focused around, you know, the supply and what we can all expect in the next 30 days. This crap's expensive. It's the most expensive regular, in my opinion, non-Masters tile release that's being charged to distributors and stores and customers all over the world. And yeah, we're all going to probably suck it up and pay it. And I can guarantee you, when they get the allocations, the stores get it, it's going to fly off the shelf. And that's the reality of the situation. Are people going to band together and vote with your wallets and not skip by the product? Yeah, well, you know, look, secret layers sell between $30,000 and $80,000, 30 and 80,000 units per release. And people band together and vote with your wallets. Yeah, well, 80,000 secret layer Walking Deads would disagree with voting with your wallet. So everybody says it online to get their cool points and get their cool pokey hats and cool fancy smiley faces and I guess, what, upvotes? No. Check marks? God, I'm terrible at social media. Whatever it is, retweets and likes, that's what it is, sorry. Yeah, but, you know, that's just, the reality is that's where the data is. I expect a record-breaking revenue. Hasbro stock's going to perform well. And on the backs of how well Strixhaven's doing with this, with the D&D, Hasbro's going to have very strong numbers, and it's going to flow through Wizards on the backs of over 10% of the company's revenues coming from secret layers, which have probably the fattest profit margins ever created in mankind, besides probably virtual assets that you get a lot of money for and you don't even have to ship anything. It's just where we're at, folks. And I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but I just want people to brace for impact because it's going to be a wild ride. The product's going to do well. It's going to be expensive. And the way we're going right now, like even for me, like I don't even know if I'm even going to be able to sell collector boxes of Modern Horizons 2 to the patrons. I mean, if I only get 200 boxes instead of, you know, from all the distributors or 300 boxes instead of 1,000. I mean, Ikoria collector boxes, to give you guys an example. A couple years ago, you know, I had access to 1,900 boxes. And then I sold almost 3,000 boxes. And I blew it out and had to go to the market and buy over 1,000 boxes. And it drove the price up and distorted the whole market. Everybody knows the story. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, that was 3,000 boxes. Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes, I'm looking at a couple hundred boxes. What am I going to do? I guess I can do some 2-box openings, 30 videos. That's 60 boxes right there. What is that going to be? 20, 30% of the allocations for a couple box opening videos? You know, that's ridiculous because the rest is going to go to Amazon. So, it's just weird. I guess that's, I wonder if like, I guess that's why all the other card games and all these things are booming. And I mean, my God, let's see. Final Fantasy's booming. MetaZoo's coming. Flesh and Blood's booming. Pokemon's booming. Yu-Gi-Oh's booming. Dragon Ball Super's booming. Digimon's booming. I know I'm missing some. Oh, God. God, poor Force of Will. Force of Will has the newest release. I got a video coming the next day or so. Have you seen the demand? You got other distributors picking Force of Will back up. Prices going up. All the box prices of out-of-print stuff is going up. It's out of control. That's 8 to 9 card games, CCGs, outside of Magic that are booming. Not including the sports card world. A lot of competition out there. It's kind of dangerous to be pretty cocky. Rudy, you're cocky. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice. I know. I'm a terrible person.